shopping, just window shopping.
Bob Mills and Perry Groves with me here this morning, and we are looking at the disappearance yesterday of Aitor Karanka from Middlesbrough. He has gone, and Steve Gibson, who has been in charge of the club for many, many years now and is hugely respected in the game, he was just saying quite simply that Karanka had sacrificed himself. He said Aitor is tired. He's worked so hard for the football club over the last 3.5 years, and the tension surrounding the end of last season would have taken its toll on anyone. Here's a fellow who knows Middlesbrough Football Club inside out. He was born in Paisley, just outside of Glasgow, played for Middlesbrough over 380 games for the club, and of course was a Republic of Ireland internationalist. The one and the only Bernie Slaven. Bernie, good morning.
Jim, Perry, Bob, good morning.
Bernie, how you doing? Bernie, great to speak to you. You're very close to what goes on at the club, and the fans love you, and they listen to what you've got to say, Bernie.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, mate, I know, they hold you in high esteem. What was your reaction yesterday to the news that Karanka had gone?
Well, the first thing, I wasn't surprised, put it that way. I mean, I've said this all for the last couple of weeks. Einstein had the quote when he summed Middlesbrough perfectly: insanity. Doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. And this is what was going on. No matter who we were playing,
right,
where we were playing, it was like watching the same game every week. Slow, laboured, squaring, back passes galore. We were ultra negative. And there was no surprise that we're bottom of the Premier League when it comes to the goals. You know, at times it was laborious. I'm being brutally honest here.
Mm-hmm.
I was bored. And that's a sad thing to say about football, the game that I love.
Bernie, don't you think sometimes with chairman there's like a tipping point where you'll be watching the game, you think, actually, I can see what Karanka's trying to do there. I can understand that, even though I don't agree. When he played Stuart Downing at left back against Crystal Palace, is that not sometimes even Middlesbrough fans yourself go, well, I don't understand that. I really don't get what he's doing.
Without a doubt. I mean, I've watched Stuart Downing since a kid at youth level. I know him personally. He's a great kid. He's been accused recently with Aitor that he didn't have the fight. What a load of rubbish and hogwash that was. That was a sheer cover-up. But playing him out of position doesn't help Downing, doesn't help the team. It's a square peg in a round hole. And you can do anything when everything's hunky-dory and you're doing well. But when things aren't going well and you're doing things out of the ordinary, it's backfired in every way, shape and form.
You think this was a matter of time then for Karanka, quite clearly, Bernie, and maybe it should have happened before it did yesterday?
Look, I think the stats back it up. It's not. Look, we've all got an opinion in the game, whether you played or not played, and I appreciate everybody's opinion. But the bare facts are, we're second bottom of the Premier League. In the last 10 games, we have not won a game. We have conceded 11. People keep raving about the defence. We've conceded 11, and we've only scored 3. And at the minute, we're plummeting like a stone. And I've been saying for months, I'm not one of those that come out of the closet. There's people that's been voiceless over Aitor Karanka's period. Wouldn't they say booty a goose? Wouldn't they say anything? Wouldn't they get involved? Now they'll all have a say and an opinion. I've always had an opinion when he was here. And I didn't like style of management. But outside looking in, I mean, you mentioned I played 382 games for Middlesbrough. I'd have been lucky to play 10 games under Karanka. I argued with every manager, Bruce Rare, Colin Todd, Lawrence. I argued with a lot of them. But they still picked me in merit. They wouldn't isolate me or banish me.
That's the point, Bernie. That's a great point. Is it because everybody says these days that there's not enough players who take responsibility and not players that have opinions? Soon as it seems from the outside that someone disagrees with him. Stuart Downing, for example, because he fell out of him last time, didn't he, where he walked out and he come back. So that means, to me, that's like a weakness in a manager where you want to take... You don't have to agree with the senior players. You know, but you want exchange of views, but then you need them on the Saturday or you need them on the Sunday.
Of course you do, on your side. And of course you do. I mean, look, I worked under Bruce Rare. Bruce Rare's nickname when he was at Middlesbrough was Gaddafi. That gives you an indication. You can sum that up how you like. And listen, Bruce Rare, I would argue with Bruce Rare every 2 weeks. We're not talking fighting, we're talking verbally here.
Yeah.
But you know what? He always picked me. We'd have disagreements. I would have my say. I think that's healthy.
Right.
If you agreed with somebody having a say back to you, then you've lost the plot. And the thing is about Aitor Karanka, and I would say it to his face, if he was here right in front of me, I keep hearing you're a great coach, and I've no doubt in that. But your man management is poor.
Wow. Steve Agnew, what do you think, Bernie, from now until the end of the season and then beyond?
I personally think Steve will be in on Sunday, and then I would think they would maybe, I'm only guessing here, my gut instinct is we will bring somebody experienced in to try and guide us through, and you know, it's an outside chance. We'll still look like relegation, as if we're going to be relegated, but I think we need somebody to come in with a bit of experience. You remember when Brian Robson was in charge? We brought in Terry
Venables, yeah. Saved it, didn't he?
Stabilised the ship.
Yep.
Over the month, I've been saying that. I've not been saying Karanka out. I've been saying, look, he's got one of three things. He gets somebody in to help him in a system, a wee bit more knowledgeable or experienced.
Yeah.
2, he has to change his ways and think, do you know what, get the shackles off, let's go at teams and have a real go. Or 3, hold your hands up and say, do you know what, I can't do it. Well, unfortunately, at the minute, it's the third one.
Bernie, do you think, because Craig Shakespeare's done so well at Leicester, that Steve Gibson, if you get a good performance against Manchester United, you know, whether you get a draw or you beat them, and it's more vibrant and the players seem happier, do you think there's a chance that he might go with him to the end of the season, just to keep like everybody on side?
Continuity.
Yeah.
Possibly, but you've been in dressing rooms, Perry. There will be guys in there who love Karanka, the guys that was in the team every week, the guys that weren't confrontational. They'll love Karanka. They'll be majorly disappointed today that he's gone yesterday. So they might be against that. I don't know. But you've been in dressing rooms. I've been in dressing rooms. You know, I remember playing under Colin Todd. Colin Todd became the manager of Middlesbrough Football Club after Bruce Rake left. Colin Todd went on record as saying, oh, I want 6 players to be gone come the end of the season. This was before the playoff semi-final. And I was one of them named. I switched off. And there's players in that dressing room now that have switched off under Aitor Karanka.
Wow.
See it.
Yeah.
You can see in their demeanour. You can see in their demeanour that they're not enjoying it, that the shackles are on, that they're looking for an excuse. And I have to say, Karanka, look, it's not all doom and gloom. When he came in, he stabilised the ship. He got us to the playoff final against Norwich at Wembley. Fantastic. He just missed out. And then he got us back in the promised land.
Right.
But he did have all the money going and good players for that level.
Benny,
Tony Mowbray.
Can Agnew keep Borough up? I mean, Borough fans are hanging in your every word here, but can Borough stay up under Agnew?
Well, you're tipping Agnew to be there the remaining 11 games. That personally, my gut instinct is he won't. You know, I know Aggers is a great lad. I know him. He's knowledgeable. He's a great guy. But me, as a Middlesbrough fan, Aggers has been in and out.
Right.
Taking the first team affairs on 5 occasions,
right.
I think.
So give me a name, Bernie. Bernie Slaven's candidate would be who?
Well, there's names galore. You know, we've heard Hodgson and McLaren and
Good night.
Every Tom, Dick and Harry. Me personally, it's at the box. I would go for Martin O'Neill. That would be my gut instinct. I've not heard anybody mention O'Neill. I'll look at O'Neill, cut his teeth and manage it at Wickham. He's been at Norwich, Leicester, won 2 league cups, beaten Middlesbrough in one of them. Celtic, UEFA Cup final, you beat with Porto when Marino was in charge. Villa, I think you got them in Europe 2 or 3 seasons in a bounce.
Yeah.
Sunderland had a nightmare, but everybody has a nightmare at Sunderland. That's David Moyes at the minute. And obviously he's manager of the Republic.
Martin, I'll tell you that Martin O'Neill's a great shout, and I'll tell you something, Bernie. This Bob Mills. When you see him on the telly doing his punditry,
he's the best.
Yeah.
Just the last few times I've seen, he looks like a man who wants to get back in there. He looks like his opinions are so forthright that he looks like someone who you think, if you're going to get someone to get hold of a dressing room, he looks like he's got all the old hunger back.
We like his opinion.
You're right in saying that, Bob. You know, he's been successful, he's experienced, he's charismatic, he's charming, he's engaging, he's ruthless, he's educated. And he knows how to cope with the press as well and the pressure.
Bernie, the other thing as well.
Terrific,
the other thing as well is he's a very, very good man manager. Martin O'Neill.
I know guys that's played under him. They rave about him, and I'm aware of that. The great Brian Clough. I know guys that played under the late great Brian Clough, Middlesbrough legend, of course, managed Nottingham Forest. They would say, crap coach, great man manager. I know guys that's played under Sir Alex Ferguson, bad coach, great man manager. Man management's the key. And that's what we need at the minute.
Bernie, my goodness me, what a lift you have given Borough this morning and all the fans listening this morning. There's Brent on Twitter, Bernie, giving it. Should get Bernie Slaven on more often, Jim. He was magnificent.
He should be manager.
If I'm a Middlesbrough fan now, I'm thinking, well, give Bernie Slaven the job.
Get Slaven on.
Slaven in.
Bernie, brilliant. Great to speak to you. I haven't spoken to you for a long time. It's always great to get in touch with you because I knew you'd deliver, and you certainly did. Thanks for joining us, Bernie.
Ta-da.
You're window shopping, just window shopping. You're only looking around.